Lee, thanks for joining us. A few things to catch up on. Sam Waller came in from Burnley. Just talk to us a bit about the signing of the goalkeeper.
Yeah, so we've obviously been on the lookout for a goalkeeper to come in and fight for the number one position. He gets great reports about what he did last year. Had 7 clean sheets in the games that he played. Burnley think highly of him. Like we say, he's a smashing fella, good lad, which I'm after more than ever to come into the group, and he ticks all them boxes. And I've spoke to him, and it's up to him now with Boovy to fight out for the number one. But really pleased to be able to get that one in.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So it's a straight fight between those two keepers now, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. I never give anybody loan players permanent signings. I never ever give them the guarantee that they're going to play. Likewise, for the players that we have here, they've got to fight it out. And they've got to perform better than their competition in every position to try and get into the team.
And Tommy O'Reilly, we understand that he had lots of options, and we also understand that he actually picked out Crewe in advance of somewhere he wanted to go. How important is that to you?
Yeah, I think that speaks volumes to get people. I put Marshy in that category that actually want to get something done and come to the club. That helps so much. He got mentioned last year in terms of coming in on loan last year, and for whatever reason that didn't quite happen. His agent was adamant he wanted to come to Crewe last year, and we couldn't quite just work that out. I think he almost was going somewhere else, and then we obviously jumped on it, and it was really quick. We had a conversation with him, did the presentation, etc., and it was done the next day. So really delighted. We need to just get him up to speed with the training that he's been doing, slightly behind what we were doing, but I think you could see the other night a couple of little glimpses of what he's about, and he's going to add some quality. Whatever position we play him in, he can play in a number of positions, which again helps, but he's going to add some quality to us.
A big positive to get his signing, but probably came back on the back of a big negative, wasn't it, with Joel Tabiner? Just talk to us, how is he and how are things looking for him?
Look, he's very driven young man. I said to him the other day, how are you? And he says, yeah, I've got over it, type of thing. I know what I've got to do to work, what work I've got to do to get myself going. Nobody works harder than Joel, nobody's fitter than Joel, and it's just an unfortunate thing. It wasn't from a nasty tackle or anything like that, just two men trying to have 50-50, bit of a slow motion thing, and really unfortunate. And like I say, we were hoping for a good year from Joel, and that was the plans from him. But we all rally round him, make sure he's okay, give him all the support he needs. He's very, very young still, extremely young, 21. So he's got plenty of games and years ahead of him. And like I say, he'll shave time off it knowing Joel, just because of how fit he is and where he's at in terms of his age.
Do we have an exact prognosis or timeline for him?
Not exact. He's going to have an operation, so the season's over for him, and then there's different ways that it can go without knowing too much about the operation and what happens. We sort of just gauge it on a monthly basis in terms of where he's at with it. But he's not going to have a season this year. The aim for him is now next season.
We'll cheer up again in a minute, but just staying on a very disappointing situation, but one where there's a positive coming from it. Nathan Robinson, he terminated his contract by mutual consent yesterday. A really difficult situation, a difficult decision, but one the club's fully supported him with.
Yeah, it's been again, Nathan did his ACL, didn't he? And I think he's had a lot of time to reflect in that time. With that, in terms of what he wants to do, what environment he wants to be in and around, and that's what it can do. Sometimes it can make you reflect and maybe want to go down a different avenue. He come and spoke to us. I spoke to his parents about what he saw his future being. Straight away, you'd think it's just a reaction to being out so long and obviously not getting involved in the group in terms of what they're doing. Let him have some time, some conversations, text messages, all that type of stuff. And I think it's a really brave decision, a good decision for him to go out there and do that. He wants to further his education. Alongside that, he'll play some football. he'll get his education up to scratch where he needs to, and then be able to develop that in America and go on to hopefully another university within that. But a really brave decision from him, something that we've taken our time over. Again, when I spoke to him yesterday, I just made sure he was clear in terms of what he wanted to do, make sure he read everything, because once it's signed type of thing, that his decision was made. But we wish him nothing but good luck. You know, everyone here has known him since he's been a young lad. His parents have been excellent, really supportive with Nathan. They obviously drive him up and down the country. Now they're going to have to get on an aeroplane to go and see him. But I think there are amazing opportunities for people to go out and do their education, their football. Opens all sorts of avenues for it. We took our time with it. Nathan took his time with it, and we come to the conclusion that, you know, we weren't going to be able to change his mind, you know, with that. And I think it's something he had his heart set on. So we wish him well.
Somebody who's starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. No, it's still a long road for Shiloh Tracy, but he came in, he signed his new contract, he's feeling positive, and you must be delighted. Absolutely
delighted with it, and I think it's brilliant from the football club to do that. They backed our judgment with it. He's been a massive part of the success. You can see that when we lost him last year, the type of impact that had on the team. So it's a massive bonus for us. I don't want the question every week, when is he fit, when is he fit. The boy's got some work to do still. He'll go and see a specialist again in a couple of weeks, which will give us an indication on when he can step up his rehab. He looks fit as a fiddle, not sure about his haircut, but he looks fit as a fiddle. And let's hope you know, it's sooner rather than later, but certainly in the immediate future, you know, that is not for now. We've got to make sure we get him in a real comfortable position to be able to get back on the pitch.
A couple of quick updates. Adrian Thibault, not seen him yet pre-season. How's he? And Mattis Holacek missed the last game. What's the situation with him?
Yeah, so Adrian he's been rejoining the group over the last week, doing some extra work. We modified his session, obviously a hamstring injury from last season. Today will be his first day where he's properly integrated and just no restrictions in the group, do some work afterwards with George. We're hopeful then by the end of another week we can try and get him a game. We'll figure out how we're going to do that type of thing, because again you can see how important he was last year in coming into the team, stepping in when needed. Mattis has just got a slight problem in and around it. It's been ongoing for quite some time. We've had scans, we can't find anything, any problem. We're seeing the scans have been sent off to another specialist who's going to have a look with it, and it just might be about managing Mattis's load in terms of what he's been able to do. So hopefully there's nothing too sinister there, and we're able to just manage him over this period where he's feeling a bit of discomfort.
The most asked question during pre-season to a manager is about targets and transfers and how you're going on recruitment. Just give us a little picture of where you are at the moment, but also just how it feels for you, because I know fans feel an urgency and get frustrated and worried about things when nobody wants players through the door more than you, do they?
Yeah, I've been frustrated over the last couple of weeks. It's difficult out there, really is. You know, and I get the question, you're not signing, or I'm trying. We are trying to sign somebody, but the last 48 hours has been really positive with that. I think we've got somewhere with a target we've had for quite a while. Hopefully today that can come to a conclusion. If that happens, it means it can trigger something else happening, which will be good, which is another player. I'm trying to target to get 4 players in between now and the start of the season. If we can do that or not, I'm not sure, but that is the target. We've been on to Josh and Joe all the time, you know, particularly last week. Lots of conversations, lots of watching, lots of phone calls going out there, but it's tough for us at the minute. But hopefully, like I say, we've got somewhere with a target we've had in mind for a while, which then hopefully can have a knock-on effect to another one. We'll get a decision from another club today or tomorrow in terms of if a lad's going with the first team or not, which hopefully then means for us, if he doesn't, he'll come to us. So things are moving in the right direction, and hopefully in the next 2 to 3 days we'll get a clearer picture.
You had some really productive warm-up games so far. You've got what you wanted out of it, but it's going to change the emphasis now, isn't it, with Birmingham City and then Stoke City coming up. How different is your approach? Because the challenge is different, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the warm-up games have been really good. I really enjoyed the other night, the younger team against some good players that played in the league last year. It was good for them to have that challenge, which it really was. We started the game well. A mistake during the game then sort of flipped it on its head, and for 25 minutes it was hard work, and we kept on trying to do what we wanted to do, but I thought they stuck with it brilliantly. Coming on to Birmingham, they've got 2 games that day, so they'll split the teams up, but they've got that many good players. We watched them the other day against Seville, and they're a good team. They'll have lots and lots of possession with it, so the obvious is the type of thing we've got to work on is how we nullify that, how we're going to deal with the ball on transitions, how we're going to be brave enough to start the moves off against what's going to be an extremely high energetic press against us. So there'll be lots of different things we've got. I say not lots, we'll try and keep it to a minimum with the players in terms of what we are looking for. I think we've played some decent football up to yet, so it's about trying to maintain that against high opposition. Stoke, again, we've spoke to them, we'll probably get a video from them sent over, which is a big help, because it's hard to see them in pre-season. I think they want that, so then it becomes more difficult for them. It's like the team's properly preparing against them, and they'll bring in another type of challenge, lots of new players, new managers certainly implementing what style he wants, rather than going in there and picking up results like they did last year to make sure they stay away from the bottom of the table. He'll probably be implementing his style, and if I'm honest, I've not really seen that yet because we've not had the information in the video to be able to do so.
It'll be a good opportunity for the supporters to wear the new kits at Mournflake Stadium. I know you were at the kit launch of the away kit launch last night, and I know you place a lot of importance on those sort of events with the community, the fans, and it was an enjoyable one.
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was packed, wasn't it? Really good. I think Puma have done an excellent job with the kits, really good. And I just think I've got 2 kids, haven't I? And it's a good sign when they say they like them. It's a really good sign. Bit different, lots going on the shirt, but I like it. My daughter got one. But they're great events, and it's brilliant that everyone gets in one place, and a lot of talking about football, and 1 or 2 moaning at me about certain things, and it's great because you're able then to, I always say it's better to have a conversation rather than it's just a shouting match. But brilliant events. I believe we've got one at the ground next week, haven't we? Hopefully get lots of kids and adults, not just kids, adults being able to talk about the club and just getting things off the chest. That people aren't able to get out as well. It's a good place for people to be able to go and just be around everybody. But they are important. It's something I think we've done well over the last 2.5 years. It's trying to bring everybody together, and regardless of results, I'll continue to do that.